All right, so we are working today in Command, and right now I'm on the home page of Command, the sign-in page. You can access this by going to agent.kw.com. I'll give you guys a moment to pull that up. And we're going to go ahead and get logged in. Our username and password are actually the same as our MyKW username and password. So you can go ahead and type those in and sign in. Sorry, 156, I cannot allow you to teach this class, though I would love that. All right, so once you guys are signed in, like I said, I'll give you a moment to do that. This will bring you to the home page of Command. 152 is having some problems. What's going on over here? Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and they're probably having trouble listening in. So let's see if we can help them out. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm on the home page of Command. We're going to be working mostly in this contacts section right here, but before we do that, we want to make sure that all of our sync settings are set up correctly. So I'm going to jump over to the top right of my screen, and you'll probably see your name or your photo both up here. So you can click on that, and we're going to click on Settings. All right, this brings us to our settings, and this brings us to our applications page first. And this shows us all the different apps that we can connect to Command. Up at the top, these are the apps that are currently connected. Facebook for post scheduling, MailJet, eEdge, Gmail, MailChimp, so on and so forth. And as you scroll down, you can see more apps that you can connect, and they're each kind of sectioned off by what they do and what their purpose is within Command. So the main ones I would like to point out in here, first one would be eEdge. So an easy way to pull over your eEdge contacts into Command would be to do it via the application. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this just so you guys can see what it looks like. So now that I hit disconnect, it did move it down into productivity. So all you need to do to connect your eEdge is hit this connect account button. Your information should be in here. Scott's account is a little confusing because he has a bunch of different offices linked. So let's see, sometimes it gives me a little bit of trouble. But if you're only part of one office, you won't even really need to mess with this. It'll show your name and your information in the office you are a part of. All you need to do is click Synchronize your eEdge contacts across Keller Cloud. Yeah. All right, so I need to figure out, I think it's one of these Little Rock offices for Scott's account that'll actually work. There we go. All right, so it did connect my eEdge account, and that will start to pull my contacts over. You can see the eEdge app did move up into this connected apps section. So that's one way you can bring your eEdge contacts over. There are a couple things related to your database that you may want to sync as well. Your Gmail. So this doesn't bring over your Gmail contacts, but if you have any email interactions with anybody, oh my goodness, 152, you're killing me. If you have any email interactions with your contacts, anybody in your database, it'll actually store that within their contact information. So you will be able to see any emails you had back and forth with that person. So that's one reason why you may want to link your Gmail. You'll also want to maybe check out PieSync. So PieSync is a really cool way to pull over contacts from one of these or some of these over 150 different applications. So I believe your first sync with your first app is free, and after that it is a paid service. So all you have to do is basically hit this Connect Account button, and it'll walk you through the process. So you can see it has a whole list of different apps, everything from your Google Contacts to Outlook to iCloud, and then some of these other apps. If you have contacts in any of these, you can go through here, select the option, basically go through the steps, and then it'll pull those contacts over for you. Like I said, I believe the first sync is free, and then after that it is a paid service, but definitely take advantage of that free one if you do have contacts in any of these, and it'll start to pull that over for you. So that's another one you might want to look out for. And then things like Office 365, I think that's the same as the Gmail. That'll pull over any email communications you've had with that person and so on. So that's all we're going to focus on for database management, the main one being eEdge. And then some of these other things are more connected to marketing and things like that. So definitely want to make sure that's connected. We're going to switch gears a little bit, jump out of our settings, and then just go straight into our contacts section. So over here at the far left, I'm going to click on this little icon that looks like two people and go to the contacts section. All right, here we can see our database. We have a lot of the Avengers, different superheroes in our database here. You can see all of our contacts listed below. If you scroll over, you can see more information about them, like the last time they visited your information, last contacted, any tags, things like that. So before we really get into this, we're just going to start on adding contacts to our database. So I'm going to go up to the top right and click Add a Contact. So there's two different ways you can add contacts to your command database. You can import them. This would be good if you have a large number of contacts. Maybe you have a database that you exported out of another system. You'd want to do importing, but if you just needed to add one person, you can click this Add Contact button. And then basically you just go through and start to add in their information. So I just like to pick some of our different employees and add in their information here. You can put in their full name, and then down below it just starts to ask more questions. So if you have an email address for this person, you can add that in, a phone number, and you can choose between personal, work, or other, and if they have multiple, you can add in additional emails or phone numbers. You can add in if they have any secondary contacts, maybe family members, you know who their spouse is, or any other family members, you can add in that information as well. You can mark this person as a lead or add them to your sales pipeline. And then down below are tags. So a little different from eEdge. In eEdge, there are categories and there are groups. So I would say the tags are kind of a mix between the both, but maybe closer to the groups. In eEdge, we always really encouraged everyone to group their contacts, just so it's a little easier to sort through your database. Tagging your contacts in Command would be the easiest way to accomplish that here. So down below in this tag section, when I click on this drop-down menu, you can see all of our tags that we currently have created. So there are tags provided by the system and then tags that we created ourselves, and that you can see some of them are have different colors, things like that. I will show you after we add a contact how you can actually add in additional tags. You can add in custom tags, which is kind of like creating a custom group. But to make this easier for you to find this person in your database, definitely you will want to tag them. So I'm just going to pick one of these. I don't know if we have like an SLM. Oh, we do. Scott Leroy. Looks like we have two tags for Scott Leroy. So you can tag as many as you'd like. I'm going to choose this Scott Leroy tag. And then I think if I just click out of here, yeah, just click somewhere else in the window, it'll add that tag for you. So then this is basically like the minimum amount of information you'd want to add. But if you have additional information, go ahead and click on this Add More Information button. And it basically just opens this up, and you can go through these different tabs to add more information. So if you have additional contact info, like additional phone numbers or emails, maybe an address for them, any social media profiles. I'm just going to run through this super quick. You can add in, maybe they have a legal name and they go by a nickname, description, you know, so-and-so is a buyer that I met at an open house on this date, things like that. Birthday, home anniversary, more spots for relationships if they have additional family members. You can add in their work information if you have that. You can add them to your sales pipeline. This is basically just helping you determine where they are like in the process with you. So if maybe this is a lead that you've captured, maybe you've actually connected and they are more than just somebody you just met, you can add in that information here. And there are some lead sources down below. And then custom, we're going to go over this as well after we add this person. Very similar to the custom tags, you can actually add in custom fields. So this is basically a custom question that you're adding to this person's information. So maybe you want to know, like there's something on here, there's something that's not in this list of information you're recording for this person, but things you might want to know, like their hometown, their favorite sports team, the area that they are looking to buy in, things like that. You can actually add that in by adding in a custom field. So down below you can see these are the custom fields that we've created. So they're basically custom questions. So you can see like referral info, anniversary, time frame, status, agent, things like that. Basically any additional information that's not in here that you may want to know. Can you add a tag or group to multiple people at the same time? Yes, you can. We will be going over that in just a little bit, but great question. Yeah, you can do that. So what I'll touch on that next, actually. So I added in this person's information. You can always go back and add more, but I'm basically just adding in name, phone number, and email, and tagging them. And I'm going to hit create. And this will add this person to my database, and you can see them in this list now. So for that question about tagging multiple people at once, let's see. A lot of these people aren't tagged. So what you can do, and I'm going to come back to this page and show you more about like the smart views and sorting. I may actually just switch gears and do that now. So we're on this on our contacts page. For your question, say I wanted to tag all these people. These are all Scott Leroy people. Tag them as Scott Leroy. So what I can do is I'm going to select these boxes next to their names. And you can see up here there's a little drop-down menu that says select bulk action. And basically I can update something for multiple people. So when I clicked on this drop-down, I have the option to add a note, archive, send a bulk text, add bulk tags, that's what you asked about, send to your dialer, add to email list, share contacts, or mark as, oh, there's more, mark as leads, unmark as leads, add to smart plan, export, and export mailing labels. So lots of options here. So if I did want to tag all of these people as something at the same time, I can click this add bulk tags button, and it's showing who I would like to tag. And I have the option for the system tags. These would be the tags that, well, interesting. This should be just the ones that the system provided for you, and then your custom tags would be below, but it looks like it's just showing both on both. So you can scroll through and see your tag, look for what you would like to tag this person as. I'll choose Scott Leroy and hit submit. And you can see, there we go, it added that custom tag here. So since we're talking so much about tags, I do want to go back into the settings and show you how you can create these, because that is really important, but we will come back to this page and I'll show you more about the filters and things like that. So we're going to go back into our settings by clicking on our name at the top right, and then hit that settings button. All right, and now what we're going to do is we are going to go over to the left and click on command settings. And then go into custom tags. So custom tags and custom fields are basically going to be like the same page, you're just adding in different things. So if you wanted to create any custom tags, this is where you would go. You can see all of your tags listed here below. Looks like we have 21 different tags. You can edit those here by clicking on the little pencil button if you wanted to change the name. It'll also show you how many contacts are linked under this tag. And then if you wanted to delete any tags, you can hit this little trash can button and it'll remove the tag from the system. That does not remove the contacts linked to that tag. It won't delete the contacts, it's just going to remove that tag from them. So if I wanted to create a new tag, I can click on this button up here, create new tag, add in the option here. I'll say, I don't know if we have one for this, Mega Camp 2019. You can choose a color if you'd like to help you sort through these. I love this like pretty seafoam green, and hit create. And there we go. So that created the new tag, and now when I go into my database, I can tag people as that Mega Camp 2019. Just going to make this great question, so thank you. So that's creating the tags. Same sort of thing with the custom fields. So over on the left, I'm going to click custom fields. And these are, like I said, they're like custom questions that you might, of information you might want to have on file for somebody. So if you wanted to create a new custom field, information you might want to store for a person, basically you add in, this is the question or the category of what you're going to be recording. So this says like, for example, favorite sports team, hometown, blank, yada yada. So I'll say like favorite restaurant. Maybe you want to keep this information on file so you can buy this person a gift card at a later time if they are, you know, a client of yours. You can add in the custom field here, and then under custom field type, it's going to ask basically how you're going to answer this, whether it's a URL or a percentage. I'm going to put in text field. That's basically like a text box. So under the question favorite restaurant, you will be able to write in the answer to that and store that information for that person. So there we go. We just have to basically add that in and then hit create. And now I will have that option when I'm adding in a new contact to my database. All right, so we're going to go back to our contacts by clicking on these little people again over on the far left. So I kind of touched on if you have a large amount of people in your database, you're definitely, and just any amount, you're definitely going to want to use these tags. Like I said, it's very similar to creating the groups in eEdge or the categories. So just an easy way for you to sort through people. What you can do if you have a large amount of contacts in your database and you are wanting to only view people with a certain tag, or you're searching for someone specific, you can hit this filters button here. And this is going to have lots of options for you. So maybe you want to view people by a certain system tag. So for example, maybe I only want to see the Avengers in my database. I can go through, click on whatever options here that I'm looking for, and hit apply. And there we go, and it's basically just sorting out those people, and now it's only showing me people who have this Avenger tag. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clear that filter and just see all of our contacts again by hitting this little X here. Now it's showing everybody in our database. There is this really cool thing here called Smart Views. You can see up here on the left. So this is basically a custom filter that you can create. So let's say, for example, you are working with a certain group of people frequently in your database, and you're in your filters, and rather than having to go through, maybe there's just like a bunch of different filters you have set. Maybe it's a tag and a company, or like a tag and you want to see the last time they visited, what have you. If you're going to be searching for a specific group of people frequently, rather than having to go through this and fill this out every time, you can actually create what's called a Smart View. So then when you are looking at your database, you can just go into this Select Smart View section, choose that Smart View. It's basically just a custom filter, and it'll pull up those contacts for you just a little bit easier. So I'll go ahead and create one. Let's say I only want to see Scott Leroy people. Let's see, I want to do like Scott Leroy people who have a phone number, but I don't know what the rest of this question is. How do you create a new lead source such as a past client or referral. I don't know if I understand your question. Can you please rephrase? Like, I mean, you can create a tag, I guess? Is that what you mean? Like creating a tag to mark people as past clients or referrals? I'm sorry, I don't think I'm understanding your question. So I'm just going to set this custom filter. You can go through, maybe you only want to see people that are tagged as multiple things, like Scott Leroy, Avengers, what have you. You can go through this and select which tags you're going to be searching for frequently and hit Save Smart View. And I'll just say SLM. This is what I'm going to call my Smart View. It's basically my SLM filter. And now, let's see, I'm just going to exit out of that. So now if I ever come back to my database and I only want to see these SLM people, I can go up to Select Smart View and choose my SLM filter. And there we go. It's only showing me people with that tag. So it's basically just an easy way to create a custom filter. So I'm sorry. Hopefully you can hear me, 161. I would love to answer your question. I just don't know if I understand what you mean. So if you can rephrase that, that would be great. How do you create a new lead source such as past clients? Oh, okay. I think I know what you mean. Okay. So I don't know if that is just added in. Let me see. That may be in the settings. I do know what you're talking about now. Okay. That is a great question, and I want to say I've had that question before, and I don't know where that information comes from. Because in here you can edit the custom tags, things like that. So yeah, if you were, let's say, adding a new contact, I think there's something in here that says like lead source. Yeah, I don't know where this information pulls from. These look like these are just added in by KW. Hopefully they will add a section in the settings soon so you can add in a custom lead source, because that would be perfect. If you could add in like Open House, Trulia, Zillow, like basically where this person came from. I don't know where that's coming from right now. It should definitely, see if I can go into somebody and edit that. Yeah, lead source. Yeah, sorry, I don't think we have the option. I don't know where that pulls from, to be totally honest with you. It should, I would think it would be in here under where like the custom tags and custom settings are, under command settings, but it doesn't look like that is an option. So maybe they just have added in that handful of lead sources, and depending on where the contacts come from, it's marked like that. But great question. We may need to reach out to KW to figure out like where those are coming from, because I am not sure. We definitely should be able to edit that. I just don't know if that's an option at this time. They're probably working on adding that in, but thank you so much for asking that question. All right, so we're back here. Just a couple more things I want to go over. So I showed you the filters, how you can basically create a smart view, which is like a custom filter. Another way you can sort through your contacts. Right now we're looking at everyone. If we want to look at our leads, so anyone marked as a lead, when you do add a contact, you do have the option in there to check that box to mark them as a lead. If you only wanted to see your leads, you can hit this drop down here, select leads, and it's only going to show you people who have this little L next to their name. All right, so now I'm going to just go back and switch to viewing everybody. I do want to show you how we can delete contacts from our database. So to delete, we do have to first archive contacts. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete some people. So let's say I wanted to delete all of these people. What I can do is I can select the boxes next to their name. You know, multiple people or just one person. I'm going to go up to select bulk action, and there isn't a delete option on here. We first have to archive them. So I'm going to hit archive, and it's going to ask if you are sure. Good thing about this is you can go back. Once you've done this, this isn't deleting them at first. So I'm going to hit archive. I've selected all of these people. Going to select archive. That's going to move them out of my database. And now, say I either wanted to move them back or I wanted to permanently delete them. Well, all I have to do is go back into my settings, so click on our name at the top right and click Settings. And then we are going to go into our command settings again on the left, and then choose Database. So in here, it's a couple different options. In the Contact Archive, you can see those contacts that we just archived. So maybe you have people in your database that maybe it's clients who want to buy or sell in the future, and you just don't want to accidentally, risk sending them any emails, or maybe they said we don't want to hear from you now, but we will want to be in touch in the future. It may be a good idea to move them over to the contact archive just so you don't accidentally bug them. This is also where you have to go to delete contacts, so you can move people over to the contact archive. You can see first name, last name, the date they were archived, and then you have the option to either restore, that would move them back over into the database as an active contact, or delete them. Let's say I just want to go ahead and delete all of these people. I selected this box and it selected all of them. I can either restore all of them or delete. I'm just going to go ahead and delete. Hit OK, and that will remove them from my database. You can also, if you needed to completely wipe your database rather than doing those two steps, there is an option here for database wipe. Basically hit these two buttons, archive all contacts. That'll move everybody out of your database into the archive section, and then all you have to do is hit delete all archived contacts, and that will remove them permanently. All right. I know we're jumping back and forth quite a bit today. We're going to go back to our contacts by clicking on the little guys right here. All right, so another way that you can import or add contacts into your command database would be by importing. This is great if you have a database in another system. Maybe you have exported contacts out of your Gmail, out of your MLS or LinkedIn, what have you. You would then want to basically convert them and import them into command. So I'm going to go up to my top right again and click on this import button. All right, so you do have to use the command template when you are importing into command. Unfortunately, you can't just download your list and add it in. It's not going to recognize it. So when you are wanting to import, you can come here and click download the pre-made CSV. This is the command template. Save that to my computer and I will open that up. All right, so this is my command import template. You can see there are quite a few different options of information you can add for somebody. Everything from their contact information to different addresses, their social media info, all that good stuff. You will want to, so you can see there's two rows here. The second row is the one you want to pay attention to, but it does have an extra row on top just to help clarify what this stuff is. You will want to delete this first row. So I'll go ahead and do that. There we go. All right, so I wanted to show you guys today how you can also, a different way you can pull your contacts out of eEdge. So I'm going to go to into my KW. I'm going to export out my eEdge contacts. basically convert them, copy and paste them into the command template, and then upload them into command. So right now I'm on the home page of mykw.kw.com. This should hopefully look a little bit familiar to you. I'm going to go up to my eEdge control panel here at the top center and click on the option for View Contacts. All right, so this is my eEdge database. You can see it's a lot of the same people. So I believe when you link your eEdge and command, I want to say the contacts are now going back and forth. Yes, okay. So if you are doing this, if you are going to export your contacts out of command and import them, or out of eEdge and import them into command, you will want to make sure that those sync settings that I showed you at the beginning, I believe you want to make sure that those are turned off, because unlike eEdge, command will take duplicates. So let's just go ahead and try this out. So one thing about command is it's still very new, so things are changing. So you can see in eEdge it's showing my database here, and now since we have our eEdge linked, you can see that these contacts came over from command. So now I'm a little concerned that if I import these, they will go ahead and create a duplicate, but you know, let's just see what happens. So this is my eEdge database. I'm going to go up to contacts up at the top, click on that, and I'm going to click export contacts. So when exporting out of eEdge, you have a couple options. You can select specific groups if you'd like. I just want to pull everyone out, so I'm going to leave this section alone, and then under contact status, it is always set to cold. Unless you want to pull out only your cold contacts, or only one of these statuses, you would want to change this, but definitely if you just want to pull out everybody, just hit all. And then I'm going to click export. So what this is doing is creating a CSV file of all of my eEdge contacts. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. All right, so this is my eEdge database. So we do have to basically convert this if we want to import into command. So what I'm going to do now is, this is my eEdge list. Basically, I'm just going to copy and paste all the contacts from this list onto the command template. And you'll want to do this with any sort of list. So like maybe you exported out your LinkedIn contacts, you would need to convert them. So you would want to open up your LinkedIn list, similar to this, and then basically go through each column and copy and paste it on here. So here's the section for mobile phone number, email. I'm just going to do like just the minimum amount of information, but whatever info you think you need for somebody, go ahead and pull it over. So like on here I have some notes and additional like addresses and things like that. I'm just going to pull over first name, last name, mobile phone number, and email address. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. And I'm going to say command import 822. So I'm on a Mac, and I know at least in eEdge I need to save this as a Windows comma separated CSV. Sometimes it saves it automatically as just this regular CSV, and in eEdge it doesn't work. I'm not sure if command is as picky. I always just save it as this one. So if you're on a Mac, I would just say keep an eye out for that, and if you're having trouble, make sure that it's saved as Windows comma separated, because it seems to work a little bit better. Sometimes it'll say it's not like a valid format. So I'm going to do that, hit save, and now my list is ready for importing. So let's see what happens here. All right, now I'm back on my command page. I can drag my file in here, or if I just click on this section, it'll open up my file, so I can choose whatever import file I want to add in. So I'm going to choose my command import 822. Yes, so you can. What you can do is actually on this template, and we're gonna try this out. I'm gonna actually cancel this. Cancel. So on our template, there is actually a tag section. So here it says tags. So I believe if you add in the tag that you want to tag this person, oh, where'd it go? Am I losing my mind here? Where'd it go? There we go. I believe if you write in the tag, as long as it's in your system, it should, when importing, tag those people. So let's just go ahead and test this. Let's mark some of these people. What do we have? Avenger, marketing. Anyway, my other tag was Scott Leroy. What's it called? Scott Leroy. Okay, so we're gonna try this out. I'm gonna just tag some people as Scott Leroy. Okay, I'll tag these first few people. So I'm in my tags column, and I think as long as it's the same, it should tag these people as that tag that's in the system. So I'm gonna hit save so this list updates, and we're gonna try this out. All right. Thank you for that question. Yeah, definitely that's an easier way to do it. You can, of course, like I did earlier, go in here and select all those people. But if you have, a huge amount of contacts, that may be a little difficult. So you would want to do it when importing. So I'm going to go back up, hit import, choose the file from my computer, and we're going to hit import contacts. And cool thing is this goes pretty quickly. It says submitted, we've received your request, and they will be available soon. You have the option to import more contacts or hit finish. And let's see how quickly this goes. So there was, unfortunately, recently a little bit of a delay where we were having issues with the contacts importing. It was just taking a while. And then I think there was an issue with not all the contacts pulling in. But we didn't have a whole lot of people on our list, so hopefully this just happens really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and try refreshing my page and see if these new people pop up. Yes. Okay. Awesome. So I will say, so you can see here, it did create duplicates. So if you are pulling over your eEdge contacts that way, you will want to make sure that the application section that's turned off, because if you have that turned on and they're already in here, unfortunately Command does not sort out those duplicates. But you can see for these contacts that I imported, Ariel, myself, and Brittany, I added in that tag when on my template. You can see I wrote in the tag. I believe, like I said, the tag needs to be created first. I don't think it'll just create a tag, so it needs to be a tag that already exists, I believe. But I added that in, wrote that in, and it did tag these people as Scott Leroy. So that is an easy way for you to do those custom tags when importing. It's going to make it a lot easier when you're adding in a large number of contacts. So that is importing. Oh, where am I going? Okay. So there's just a couple more things we're going to touch on before we wrap up today. From our our contacts page, if you wanted to view someone's information, edit their information, add in more contact info from them if you got it, what you can do is go ahead and click on their name. And there are a few different things you can edit in here. If you wanted to add them to a smart plan, you can hit this button here. If you wanted to edit them, you can hit this pencil button, archive them. So I'll just kind of run through these real quick. So we're in Ariel's information. We can see her tag. We can mark her as a lead if we wanted to. Here's her contact information. I did want to point out this neighborhood section. So if Ariel is either a buyer or a seller, you may want to create basically a neighborhood landing page for her. It's kind of like, it's almost like a CMA report, but a web page. So they're really cool. What you can do is when you're in this person's contact information, scroll down to this neighborhood section and click Add Neighborhood. And you have the, excuse me, you have the option to either search for a neighborhood here by typing that in. Let's see. So you can start to type that in. I'm in Nashville, so you can see it's pulling in areas close to me. So if I type in Shelby, I can start selecting neighborhoods that way. You can also go on the map. This is pretty cool. So if you do the map version, you can scroll, basically zoom in, and it'll show you all the different neighborhoods. Maybe Ariel is looking to buy in East Nashville. So I can pull up the map and you can see all these different little sections are the neighborhoods. So you can go through and select those neighborhoods, scroll down and hit save. And here we go. So what this did, you can see these are the different neighborhoods that Ariel is interested in. It's basically creating a really cool landing page that you can send to this person. So I'm going to hit copy link. And then actually what happens when I hit preview? It just opens it up. Okay, so if you want to copy this to send to them, you'll hit that copy link button. But if I hit preview, it actually just opens it up. Let me make sure that this is just the same link. It is, okay. Oh. All right, so this is what you could send to your client. Sorry guys, I'm feeling a little hoarse. Up at the top left, you can see it'll have your photo and your contact information. And on this page, it's showing the neighborhood snapshot for Shelby Hills. So you can see the different neighborhoods we added in here. You can click through them. Ariel can compare them, look at the different information, but it's pretty cool. So it shows over here on the left the map of that area and then different homes available in that area. They can scroll through those. And then down at the bottom, there is a box to contact you, and then of course your information again. So they can go through, look at the neighborhood snapshot. This is the home page of this. If we go over to neighborhood stats, just more detailed information. It shows you basically like the average home price, price per square foot, how long they are typically on the market, 27 homes for sale, 13 pending. More stats, basically current stats, sold stats. And then they can search for places that they may be frequenting and see like the commute time, things like that. Information about nearby schools. So it's really cool. This does show different restaurants and highlights from that neighborhood. So this is a really cool landing page that you can create for your clients. So I think it's good for buyers and for sellers. Probably better for buyers, but if somebody is selling, you know, they can see those comparable properties in that neighborhood. But really cool. So that's what this neighborhood snapshot is. And then of course, so that was homepage, neighborhood stats, and then about me would just be a page with your contact information. So it's just really nice, great information, looks really clean and cool. You can also create this and copy this link, send it to people, email it to them, post it on your Facebook. And then of course, if anybody, you know, contacts you through this, that comes to you as a lead. So great resource that you should be utilizing. Going to go back to command contacts, and in here are just more things that you can manage for your contacts. You can set up, this section here would be your timeline. So if you have any interactions with this person, you know, like Ariel viewed neighborhood page, things like that, that'll show up here. You can also manage your opportunities, your smart plans, and your tasks. This would basically be like a checklist. So that is about it. I'm not going to jump too much into those today, but that is about it for our contacts class today, database management. Great question. Thank you for that question earlier about the lead source. I will definitely ask my team about that. I don't think that information is, I don't think it's editable at this time, but hopefully it will be soon. So I'm just going to pull up our website so you guys can see our contact information. And like I said earlier, if you were here, this class will be recorded and put on our website and on our YouTube page. So down here, we are here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern on emails and 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern on phones. So if you guys have further questions or need help with your contacts, importing, what have you, definitely feel free to reach out to us. If not, thank you guys again for sticking around today, and we'll talk to you soon.